Israeli airstrikes on the Gaza Strip on Sunday killed at least 10 members of one family, including the mother and her 4 children, and struck 2 buildings used by journalists, inflicting the heaviest toll on civilians since fighting began Wednesday. Militants in Gaza continued to lob dozens of artillery rounds toward Israel, including 2 powerful long-range rockets that burst over Tel Aviv on Sunday after Israel's anti-missile system intercepted them in mid-air. With little apparent progress in ceasefire negotiations in Cairo, British Foreign Secretary William Hague warned that Israel would lose support from the international community if it followed through on threats to deploy troops in Gaza. President Obama, at the start of a 3-day trip to Southeast Asia, reiterated U.S. support for Israel's right of self-defense but said he was hopeful that the fighting could end through diplomacy. The intense crossfire of recent days illustrated the enhanced capabilities that both sides have achieved since a 3-week Gaza offensive in 2008 to 2009, which killed more than 1,400 Palestinians and 13 Israelis. Since Wednesday, Gaza-based militants have fired about 830 rounds of artillery that either slammed into Israel or were intercepted, according to the Israeli military. The number exceeds the about 800 that made landfall during the earlier Gaza campaign, called Operation Cast Lead. The handful of long-range rockets that have been detonated over Tel Aviv and the outskirts of Jerusalem in the past 3 days mark a game-changer for Hamas, the Islamist group that rules Gaza and in the past has been unable to strike Israel's largest cities. Military officials and analysts caution that though Israel's anti-missile defense system, called Iron Dome and launched last year, has averted direct strikes on the country's biggest cities, it is not an ironclad defense. Military officials said Sunday that the radar-equipped system has foiled 85% of attacks on populated areas. Late Sunday, the military said Iron Dome had intercepted 3 more rockets launched from Gaza toward major population areas. No one thinks that Iron Dome will provide a hermetic defense, said Captain Eaton Buckman, an Israeli military spokesman, adding that the threat posed by these new rockets justifies the intense bombardment campaign launched last week with the assassination of a top Hamas commander. Both in quantity and quality, there's a significant increase in Hamas's capabilities, Buckman said. General Relic Schaefer of the Israeli Air Force said a ceasefire would be possible only if militants in Gaza stop firing rockets. At any given time, we can elevate the level and the type of targets, he told reporters Sunday night in a conference call. He said Israel has taken great pains to avoid civilian casualties but acknowledged that is a difficult task because Hamas fires from populated areas. In Gaza on Sunday, Israeli warplanes dropped bombs that hit the Dalut family residence, killing the mother and her 4 children, ages 10, 6, 2 and 1, as well as 5 other relatives. It was the single deadliest strike of the campaign, dubbed Pillar of Defense.